In this video, we'll talk about the June 2020 Visa Bulletin. You've been sending me questions, posting in the comments, wanting to know how this Visa Bulletin is going to impact your case and specifically your visa wait time. So let's talk about it in this video, and I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody. In this video, we'll talk about the June 2020 Visa Bulletin. This is a very important Visa Bulletin because it had quite a few changes in there, specifically for the F2A category, which impacts spouses of green card holders as well as children under the age of 21. Before that, if you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Click that bell to be notified as I release videos every single week, and also give us that big like so YouTube can show this video to more people who may be interested in this topic and could benefit from this information. So let's talk about the June 2020 Visa Bulletin. And by the way, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Jacob Sapochnick, and I am an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California. And I'm doing these videos every single week for your information mostly. What is interesting about this bulletin is that it had a cutoff date for the F2A category, which is the category that impacts spouses of green card holders. So in the date for filing chart, as you can see, F2A has a cutoff date of May 1st, 2020. So what does it mean? The Visa Bulletin is the main source that tells us every month how long we have to wait for a particular visa category, depending on which category we are at. And it has a date of filing section and final action section, which and based on those, they'll tell us which visas can be filed or which visas can be processed at that particular moment in time. So if we look at this particular Visa Bulletin for June 2020, there is a cutoff date. And if we're looking at people that are currently in the United States, we have a certain requirement by USCIS. They're also looking at the Visa Bulletin. And for June 2020, they are looking at final action dates for F2A, which basically means that it's current. So final action date for F2A is current for June 2020, which means that people that are currently inside the United States are able to use that final action date to file their cases. For all other categories, so if you look at F2B, F3, F4, brothers and sisters, those in June 2020, they have to use the date for filing chart. And when we get to the employment-based sections in this video, for all employment-based preference, we must use the final action dates as well, right? So the main difference in the visa, in the June 2020 Visa Bulletin, so for F2A category, those people that are currently in the United States looking to file for adjustment of status, the chart that you have to look for is the final action dates. All other family preference categories in the June 2020 bulletin must follow the dates for filing, and that's right now on the screen. So you can see F2B is December, F3 is March 09, F4, depending on which country you're from, you have to look at that accordingly. Okay, so this is actually the main, most important change in the family division, because people were worried about the F2A category, whether they're going to be able to proceed for filing for their spouses. And so specifically for this category, you have to follow the final action dates, which in the final action date category charts, F2A is current, so you're still able to file for your spouses if you're a green card holder. Let's look at the employment-based. So the employment-based, we have to look at the final action dates chart, and we had quite a few changes there, and I have them listed here. So let's talk about EB1. EB1, all countries are current during the month of June except for China and India. If you look at EB1 China, we're looking at August 15, 2017. EB1 India moved forward 10 months to June 8, 2016. I'm looking right now at the employment-based chart, and for the employment-based chart for June 2020, we have to follow the final action date charts for visas to be current. EB2 categories, all countries remain current except for China and India once again. And if you look at EB2, China moved forward by 1 month to November 1st, 2015. And India moved forward 10 days to June 12, 2009. So there's been a slight movement, but it's not as much as we expected for this to happen. EB5, most countries remain current. EB5 China moved 2 weeks to July 15, 2015. And EB5 India moved forward 3 months to January 1st, 2020. Mostly compared to previous month, if you compare it to May 2020, the movement hasn't been too much of a movement. What it hasn't changed is they kept the final action dates for adjustment for F2A as well as for the most employment-based categories. If you look at EB4, El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala, they moved 4.5 months to February 1st, 2017. So we've seen slight movements, and I think we will see a similar type of actions in the July Visa Bulletin. But again, it remains to be seen if we're going to see even more movement with respect to F2A. And it's still unclear whether F2A will remain current in July, in the sense that they'll follow the final action dates to allow people to continue to adjust their status. So once again, it's important to remember that USCIS, if you are inside the US, if you are looking at this video and you're inside the US, USCIS will continue to accept adjustment of status applications based on final action dates for June 2020, and I think that this is going to still continue in July, right? Because this chart remains to be current. With respect to what happens with the proclamation, again, we still have people that are banned from coming to the United States, specifically spouses of green card holders and people that are waiting for their interviews based on those categories, EB2s, employment-based applications that are waiting for the interviews. That still remains in effect. We'll see if that's going to be extended. But with respect to the Visa Bulletin, these are the main changes, as you can see here in this chart. Final action dates for employment-based and a final action date for F2A, as long as they're filing for their applications. All other family categories are using the date of filing. So hopefully this information was helpful. Like I said, there's some slight movements. We think there's going to be a little bit of more movements in the July Visa Bulletin. And as we come close to October, we may see some big surprises coming out from the State Department. Remains to be seen. I will keep you posted. So hopefully you found this information useful. Once again, if you're here for the first time, please subscribe to our channel and don't miss any of our videos. Click that bell to be notified. Also, we have a private Facebook group that we try to update the group every single week, every single day. So the link is in the description of this video. Make sure to join our private Facebook group, and so you'll know firsthand about changes even before the videos come out on our YouTube channel. So thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the June 2020 Visa Bulletin, what to expect in the future, and I'll keep updating you with videos every single week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.